more technology and things are advanced, things are better. Why this is happening? What makes this land grab to be an issue now, the very hot topic, and today? In 2008, there was a food shortage in the Western world, where some country was uprising because people did not have food. And some of the people seen this as opportunity. And where do they go? To go to Africa, where they feel that those lands don't belong to anybody. Like for example, in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Prime Minister said this land has never been used by anyone. One of the gentlemen from India said that this land is so huge, so anyone can come and take it. Just like coming to your house, say that you have 5 bedrooms, and I'm going to take 3 of them without asking you. So this land deal is now the other countries are coming to grow food to feed their countries and starve the people who the land belongs to. And usually what I try to ask is, if this cannot be allowed in Saskatchewan, can you imagine an Indian man coming from India to Saskatchewan and take 360,000 acres of land for 25 or 23 cents for 99 years? Let's say that Canadians are being known not being very aggressive. Let's say that happened in South Dakota, Bismarck. I think American Congress may want to use the nuclear weapon on that country. So if it is not allowed there, why is it allowed in Africa? And I think that that's the point I would really want to emphasize on it. A human being, from the minute that we are born, we are kind, we are gentle, but as we grow within every one of us, that's evil, and evil evolve. We live in a world today where the vulnerables are taken advantage of. Not only in Ethiopia. I think most of you must have heard the 99% or 99 movement that happened in New York just recently. The wealthy are getting more wealthy and forgetting leaving everybody behind. So these issues of the land grab we are talking about is something that which if it is not confronted, once these countries that clear the land, they will make a business with the dictators. And then they will make sure that as long as they feed their peoples. One of the gentlemen from Saudi Arabia recently made a comment on Ethiopia. We have all the money in the Saudi Arabia kingdom, but we don't have the food to feed our people in the next 100 years. We have to go to those countries where they have fertile land so we can always have a food to feed our people. Somebody say, what about those countries? They say, well, we don't really care. The same thing to one man that, who's leasing a land in the Gambela region of Ethiopia. He was asked, this is one of the countries that been known, the most poor country, and people don't have anything to eat. Are you going to grow the food to feed the Ethiopian? He said, we are here to make money, not to feed the Ethiopian. So this is really what's going on. And so some of the people say this land has never been used or this land doesn't belong to anybody. And I just wanting to just show some quick slide show. We'll try to be very quick, and then I will make the conclusion. Before we go to that, just hit 5. Okay. See, most of the people, hold on there. Most of the people in the world when you ask them, what do you think of Ethiopia? Most of people think of Ethiopia as that. A dead cow, skinny children, nothing to eat. That is the image of Ethiopia to most of the people. Like if you ask anyone or most of the people what they view Ethiopia as a place where there's a dead cow. Okay, next. Keep going. See, most of the people will never think that there's a living cow in that country. Okay, keep going. That is in Ethiopia. That's all of these pictures that you see that keep going is in Ethiopia. Most people think that Ethiopians don't have waters. All these you see is in Ethiopia. So this land that you are seeing here, it could be good for the people of Ethiopia. But now the outsider are coming to buy that land, or those particular land you are seeing now is either owned by the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Saudi, India. So all of those tractors, those machinery are now there and they're clearing the place. Keep going. So all these lands, if you go now, it's been cleared. Pretty much most of them, you've seen that. So let me now come to a conclusion. Sometimes people say that all you hear about Africa is problem, problem, problem. To me, it's very simple. Actually, the African, like any other humankind, they would like to live in peace like everybody else. If we don't want peace and justice, I don't think we would be in this part of the world. And sometimes what people don't understand is that African, they like fighting each other. That's actually not true. Before the Western went to Africa, the African used to live in harmony. That genocide of Rwanda did not happen. Most of these conflicts happening because the boundary was drawn without including the African into that decision making. Today there's lots of conflicts in Africa, and there's war going on in Africa, and some guy in the West is making money out of that. Most of the leaders who are really nationalists for their countries in Africa are being viewed by outsiders as bad guys. The outsider want the stooge. They want puppet. Someone who's a yes sir. Because what happened is, this is something that Churchill said about the former British Prime Minister. He said they keep the Africa burning because if they become stable and unite, we in the West are in trouble. That true or not, we don't know. So this land investment, or what I call not really a land grab, is a life grab, grabbing the life of these people and the futures. This is no different than the Western who come and colonized Africa. When the outsider come to Africa, usually I call it. For instance, this land grab, if you call it, there's 54 countries in Africa. Almost nearly 40 countries are now leasing land. The local people have never been included in the agreement. Just like Berlin Conference. In 1894, the Europeans met in Berlin to decide the future of Africa. And what they did, those who are on the other side of the rivers are Congolese, those side are Ethiopian, these one are Sudanese. The African was never been included. The same thing today, an Indian man will meet with someone within the government of Ethiopia and make the decision without including the indigenous people who are there. The mistake that the European made in meeting in Berlin without including the African is the reason why the continent is bleeding today. The same thing will continue with these land grabs. Because these are an agreement made by the crony, unelected, autocratic regimes by their crony. But the other thing is, if you look at it, this happened in Madagascar. The president of Madagascar signed an agreement with South Korea. 9 million